that are older. There's just something about something that has been around longer than I have that I don't know, I inherently trust. I'm really into vintage cameras, vintage clothing, vintage ephemera, advertising, things from the past. I think I like traditional cocktails because they're simple. A lot of bars that you go into now, it takes 20 minutes to get your drink. Like they got to muddle it and they got to strain it and they've got to light the peel on fire, and it's just, for me, those are perfectly fine. But I think it's time to kind of go back and appreciate things that are just a little bit easier. I love the Trav-L-Bar because it's such a product of its time. I joke that it's, this sort of suitcase-oriented bar is meant for a time when men like cocktails were strong, simple, and just like ready to travel. I decided to make my cocktail book about the Trav-L-Bar with the blurbs brochure format. I could actually do something as small as just 8 pages, and I was just starting off with the series. I didn't know how much content I would have. I didn't know what design I wanted. It was just a great size for me, and it also fits very nicely in the Trav-L-Bar. I was incredibly happy when I saw the brochure for the first time, partly because I'd actually never done anything in Adobe InDesign before. I just kind of jumped in and learned it. I can't believe I made this. Like, the finish is great. You got printing on both sides of the outside cover and the inside cover. I mean, this thing looks professional. I think that's the greatest thing, when you're any kind of artist, is to get something back and actually think, are you sure I did that? So we have our now emptied Trav-L-Bar. We've got ice bucket. We're going to be making a dry Plymouth Martini. Plymouth is a brand of gin. So we have our gin. It's the official gin of the British Royal Navy, by the way, which makes it kind of cool. And there's a little monk on the back because it's made at Blackfriars Distillery. And it's called Plymouth because it's actually from Plymouth in England, where the Pilgrims came from. I don't know why they wanted to escape a place that was going to make such good gin, but they did. We're going to be making a dry gin martini, so we're going to have some dry vermouth, just a little bit in there, but it really does add flavor. I think it's important. Some people think that to make a good dry martini, you just wave this around the glass, but it's actually important to sort of put it in there. And then finally, to help with some of the tones that are in the gin, we're going to be using Orange Flower Water by the Fee Brothers. It just gives a little bit of brightness. It kind of helps with some of the tones in there. So you want to fill this with just enough ice so that when you pour your liquor in, it'll almost cover it. So that's about good. Got your gin. Again, I'm going to pour. Okay. Now comes the part that I care oh so very much about, and that's making this a dry martini. I will pour in just a dribble. It's like really, there's barely any there. Like, I'm going to have to kind of really shake this to force that droplet out. But it's totally worth it. And then finally, I'm going to add the orange flower water. And just a drop of that'll do as well. So, you got your spoon. It's nicely twisted like that. That helps in the stirring motion. Sometimes you'll go to a place and they'll take this and they'll just start jabbing and jabbing and jabbing. I think those are very frustrated bartenders. What you want to do is you just want to do this nice little thing. And you want to do it until that ice starts to have a little bit of swimming room in there. It's feeling good. You don't want to do it too much. In fact, I would stop when you think it's not quite enough. Then you're going to put out a cup. What's nice is this thing can also be your strainer. Hold it in there like so. Pour it. Next is the twist. Some people like olives with their martinis. I'm not going to make judgments, but really for a nice floral gin, you want something that's not olive brine to really bring out those flavors. So What you want to do is you want to cut just a bit of the peel off. So really you want mostly that yellow part and very little of the pith itself. And then you kind of want to twist it. What you're doing is you're getting the essential oils out of here. And then you kind of rub it around the rim there. And then you drop it in. And the most important part is here. You always smell it. It smells, just kind of smell what's coming off of there. The notes of the gin, the flower water, and of course the twist. And then, yeah, it tastes super cold, clean. It should, in a sense, almost taste like nothing at all, but then you just kind of feel these flavors on your tongue. And that's the importance of drinking it really, really cold, is that it just kind of floats in your mouth, and it just sort of, you kind of feel it throughout. Temperature changes the character of it, just like temperature changes the character of film. Yeah, I would drink this again and again and again.